Welcome Unreal developers. In this video we are going to learn how to load our save game. Stay tuned. So in the last video we did everything we need to do to save our save game, and today we are going to load it again. So just create a new shortcut. I will choose for this the P key, and here we can go. So the first thing we need to do is we need to check if there is actually a save game. So just call does save game exist, and we promoted these variables. That makes it pretty easy for us. We just need to drag them in and we are done. So now we just use a branch to see if the save game does exist. So if the save game does exist, we can load it, and if it does not exist, we just can use a print string, something like save game does not exist. So now we go along to true, which will be a little bit longer. If the save game does exist, we want to load the save game. Load game from slot. And again, we need our variables. And as you can see, that's the point where I set them all, because we will need them often. And if you have a slightly failure inside your string or inside the number, you can't load the game. So that's not funny. That's why I do it like that. So in this case here, we just get a save game back. As you can see here on the bin, it's a save game object, and we want to access our variables. And we don't have something like a world game inside here. We need to tell it we know it is my save game, and we want to talk to it like it is my save game. So just cast my save game. And now you can see we got our variables. Here we got the world settings, and here we don't got the world settings. Even though they are inside here, but it does not know it has access to them. So we want to do here again 3 things this time, because we already loaded the save game, but to our story it's not easy as that, because now we got our data back, but we need to synchronize the old data with the current world state. So therefore we need to more or less reverse everything. We need to get our capsule component, we need to set the world transform. So set world transform. This is the first thing we have to do. The second thing, we need to get our control again. And inside the controller we need to set the control rotation. So this is how, again, just for mentioning, this was where our player is set. This is in what direction he is looking. And the last thing we need is if our player was moving, therefore we need the character movement, and we are going to set the velocity. So, and it's easiest that to set up our character from the save game. So here we are dragging out the line, if we successfully cast it to my save game, then we want to use this execution pipeline. And then we know we got here an access. Again, I want to use it as a structure. So we get first of all the player info, and now we are going to break to structure. So our transform will be our transform. Our rotation will be the rotation, and our velocity will be the velocity. And the character is completely restored. So I hope you also see why it is important that you give them a name with some meaning. So okay, and in all of that I forgot our sequence, but that's not really that big deal. Just drag the line out here and type sequence, and we got our sequence in here. And just move everything that it looks a little bit more nice. So now we drag out, we need 3 pins, because we need to restore the player, we need to restore the items, and we also need to restore projectiles. So drag out here the next line, and we need to make a loop for that, for each loop. And now we need to get our arrays back here. That was the world items array. And connect it up. So after we have done that, we want to break down to a struct again. And now we set all these values. We got here our reference. We just need to set the actor transform. We can already connect the transform. We need to drag out here. Set. Actually, we need here to get the static mesh because we want to add the velocity to it. Can't do it otherwise. So we need to get this here, and now we can set the physics linear velocity. So that's it. Okay. Now we can plug in here the velocity. Get again the static mesh. I guess if I would have here better names, it would be a little bit easier to get these references all the time. But anyways, the next thing we are going to do is set the angular velocity. And as I said, it does not matter what you're picking, but you need to stay at the same. So I had degrees, and I will pick the degrees again and put in the velocity. And now we just need to hook up the pipeline. This will look a little bit ugly, but I will do it like this. I know it's not nice style, but it's organized at least. Everything is together, which belongs together. So now we need to do the third thing. And that's a little bit of a special case, but we will see that for each we're going to create again. And we need our array from the projectiles. So, sorry, I need to get it first. Get the projectiles and put that array in. We are going to break it again. And I guess first of all, I will make it like you would think it has to be done. So let's set the actor transform. Input is here again our projectile and then the transform. And then we need from our projectile, get the projectile, and we need to set the velocity. This is done exactly like above, and it seems to be a good solution, but it won't work. And I show you why, and I tell you why. So when we are going here, everything is okay. Let me reduce the speed of our projectile again. So set it to 3. I think it was 3000. So I set it again. So now we can see a little bit better where the bullet is flying. Okay, that's nice. So in general, we can now use our save game. We just need to use the key binding we set here. So it's P for loading and it's O for saving, and we have a nice output. So now we are pressing O and it will tell us it's true. Let's do something we will remember. We are looking down on the F from here, but now we are moving and now we are pressing O and we're looking back at the F. So this is working. We also can test here if our moved items will be saved. So let's press O to save it and go a little bit and press P to load it. And also you will see when they are in movement and we are saving, and now we're loading again and it will move again. It will be a little bit slightly different, but that has nothing to do with us. That's the physics inside of Unreal. But the issue I wanted to talk about with the projectile is I will now shoot and I will fire save during that. So I shoot and save. We are saved now. And now I'm moving and load the save game again and we don't have a bullet flying. that's the issue with references. We also get here an error for that, but I know what it is, so I don't really need to read it. The issue is we are here. We created here our projectile in the save game. Sorry, we actually need to look at the save game. We made the save game during this step where it was shot, the projectile. Here we are running through, we get our reference and we store it inside here. So everything is fine with that point. But the issue is, after that, inside our projectile, we destroyed the actor. So the actor does not exist anymore. And that's because it's a reference. There is only stored the reference inside here, not the actual projectile. So we need to go to our first person where the save game is loaded. And we need to check if this here is a valid object. So just drag out here and say is valid. I choose the one with the question mark and hook it up into your pipeline. And if it is valid, we just can spawn it. But if it is not valid, then we need to spawn an actor from that class. Spawn actor from class, here it is. Then we need to spawn this projectile and put in all the values here. So put in here this value and also set the velocity after that. So we can just hook it up here. Now I go to play and I just load the save game and okay, it did not work. But now shooting, saving and loading. Now you can see it will always be there. So this is how it works. Now everything in our save game is set up. I hope you got great ideas with that. So thank you for watching and see you later.
Subscribe.